Hi, we are...
Black Friday shopping. First time ever.
Yeah, that's true.
I know. Terrible time to be out.
We don't shop.
Whose idea was that?
Well,
I know.
It's partially my problem. But we are going to find me a car.
Yeah, we're Black Friday shopping, but not for anything retail.
But we're actually looking for a specific car.
Yes, we've got a list to go look at.
So, there's only one option. I mean, the dealer has got to make me want to buy another minivan. So, I hate going to car dealers. I let him do, and I can't lie. So, I'm just like, so I have to be there.
No, it's not, it's not that you can't lie. It's you just don't like the game of it. You don't like the whole
I don't
game.
Like the
you
game
don't like the way they do.
Just like, give me the freaking deal.
Just tell me what my cost is, and let's not play around or,
It's like, I have 1 hour, please. Turns into a whole 5-6
You're there
hour
all day.
ordeal.
So.
But anyway, we're on our way. We're going to go scope the suburbs, and hopefully this is a quick and speedy deal.
Yeah, right.
So, over the years...
Christine's had a lot of cars. Oh, wait, no, I haven't.
Yes.
I know.
He has. I keep cars, like, for 7 years.
So do I. I've had this for a long time.
That's a first.
Yeah.
But anyway, my favorite cars was the Honda Element and the Infiniti G37X. Those were my two favorites.
And why?
Well, the Honda Element, there were special times with my daughter and I. I mean, we traveled to the suburbs for almost a year in that thing and logged on about 100,000 miles, and we had time together. And that was like the best time. And it was all-wheel drive. It had the suicide doors. The floors were like washable. That was the best thing about it. And there was space. And then the G37X, wow.
That was the power.
That was
all-wheel drive.
That was the first time I had more horsepower than Matt.
Yeah. Christine would get in that car and decide it was time to go, and she,
I would.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get out of traffic.
Car. I had that for quite some time. Those were the two cars I had for the longest. So I had a Jeep Wrangler at the time as well, but that wasn't practical for highway driving. It was just not a good car on highways. It was a great car for top down, having fun in, but
the snow, it was good. Obviously, in the snow,
right.
It was good for those things.
It was more of an in-town car.
Yeah.
And we were traveling to the suburbs quite a bit, so I needed something a little bit easier. And then all my cars, so the criteria when going into my cars, they has to have all-wheel drive. Just, that's hand-downs. I live in the country, and we get pretty bad
drifts and snow, and even if we plow in the morning, it can be blowing enough that it'll drift over by the afternoon. So there are times where you have to drive through, whatever, a foot of snow sometimes.
And it has to fit my dog. Molly hates the little cars. Molly loves the van. So that's one. And then it has to fit my mermaid stuff. And just everyday life. And then the outside of what I want, it's also fit family, fit trips to the suburbs or Chicago. And if we have to go pick up friends from the airport, that's a plus. So a multi-seater.
Versus just the two-seater.
Correct. Because we're in Matt's Jeep. This is a 2006, and we're actually trading this one in.
This one's going
for the minivan.
We've had this for a long time.
Yep.
And we've done a lot to it and enjoyed it, but same thing as the other Jeep. It's not the best highway vehicle. It's not the best, wind blows it around a lot, so forth. And it's just getting a bit older.
Yes. So now what we're looking for is specifically a minivan. Granted, it's not like I
want a minivan.
I want a minivan, especially at our stage of life.
Yeah, I know. We're empty nesters. Why do
I need a minivan? But yeah, so we are looking for a minivan, gas mileage. But the other thing is, I want a car that I can get fixed in town. So we live in the country, and
there are only certain car dealerships in our town.
Right. I just can't go travel all the time to go get my car serviced or anything like that. I would love a Porsche. Yes, I would love a Porsche Cayenne. The SUV, that would be great, but not practical, and plus the cost into those cars just to maintain it is high.
Well,
because-
just to buy one right now, cost prohibitive.
Right,
Not
cost
something
for
we're doing.
But even like the Mini, when I had the Mini Cooper, that was like high on maintenance, just a yearly maintenance. It would always cost me quite a bit just to get it, you know. So that one went away quickly, and that was my last car. I sold that like 21, and I haven't
The
had
Mini.
Yeah, I haven't had a personal car for 4 years.
No, Christine's been driving the farm truck,
Yep.
our plow truck, around. So
Yeah, and whatever car is available.
Right, and again, whatever we have available at the time. And the reality is we keep a plow truck just because,
We need it.
all right, the lane's a half mile long, we got to do our own plowing.
Yeah.
So Christine drove the plow truck quite a bit. And,
Yep.
and I mean, again, it's fine, but it's not,
It's not.
yours, and it's not necessarily the most practical thing to drive into the city. You can't drive it to pick up Jessica,
Right.
do things like that because
It's not.
big.
It was big. It was an 8-foot bed.
Yeah.
Thing's big, and that thing's hard to park sometimes.
Yeah, you gotta park out farther just because it's big enough. That's
Yeah.
it.
So our newest vehicle is actually the Transit, the Ford Transit.
Yes.
We can't drive that everywhere. We put it away for the winter because we don't want the salt to ruin it.
Well, and the thing's huge too. You know,
Yeah.
so parking that,
That's not-
driving it around just normally would, take that to the supermarket.
So we need the practical car.
So minivan obviously because of all the things it does for you.
Correct.
And Porsche you'd love to have just because you wouldn't mind having one, it'd be sporty. Okay,
Right.
but so the Porsche's out though, minivan's in. What else were you thinking about? What was on your list that was reasonable? Not the Porsche. I understand that's not reasonable.
I don't know. Oh, I kept on looking at Hondas to see if they would bring back the Honda Element. They have not.
No.
So.
No, there was one other that you were looking at that you were debating on.
It was
Yes.
the Gladiator.
No.
Oh, I was looking at a Hyundai Santa Cruz because of the, it had like a little trucks, like
Yeah.
open bed.
You were looking at small trucks.
Yeah, small trucks.
The Hyundai or Hyundai, what is it?
Hyundai,
whatever.
Santa Cruz,
Santa
or
Cruz.
the Chevy Colorado.
Yeah, but that was a little
Or-
bit bigger.
Yes.
Those gotten big enough. They're not that much smaller than a little Silverado.
Correct.
So that's still pretty big. But the
But then
Santa Cruz, that was it. The Santa
Right.
Cruz.
But then we kind of like put that off because we have a truck. I can just use a truck if I need to go.
Right. We
truck.
still have the plow truck. We're not getting rid of that.
Yeah.
So yes, we would obviously just be able to use that anytime.
Correct.
So,
So-
but again, you thought about the Santa Cruz, and we never really looked at those. We never really drove one or looked at it.
We also realized it was a little small for Molly.
Now, yes,
Yeah.
you can't. She doesn't ride in the back, but Miley really likes the van where she can jump in and get in and out.
She has space
But-
in the back.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think the Maverick, the Ford Maverick, right?
Yes,
Ford
we were
Maverick.
looking at that.
We
but
never
then-
looked at that, but again, that's a little
a
bit
truck.
bigger. The Santa Cruz and it's not really a truck. That's on a car body.
Correct.
So that was the other thing. Then is something like that would ride more like a car and not be as rough of a ride like a truck
Yes.
is. A little more comfortable. 4 seats still. But, yeah.
So when I want a car, I give Matt all my criteria, and he starts searching. And you
Oh.
search Auto Trader.
Auto Trader, Cars.com, whatever, and just go to the regular websites. But we searched all over.
Yep.
Part of it is I wish we just had enough just to walk right out and buy a brand new car. We don't. We got to find something
Right.
new, so you got to look around.
It's better to buy
So-
used anyway.
Well, we can afford it. so we're looking around, and I have a list now. We have 5 or 6 different vehicles to go look at.
Yes.
I looked again this morning just to see what was new or not, and I found one to go at least check out. So
Yeah.
that's where we're going now.
Yeah. So this Jeep has never been cleaner.
We cleaned it up since we're trading it in. Normally, I don't wash it routinely and clean up, vacuum the inside because, again, we live on a farm, so it's always got
Yeah.
stuff in it.
Stuff in it.
That's the way it is. This is the winter vehicle. This is not the cruise around town car.
Right. So we'll take you along. It might seem boring because they're kind of all the same looking, but this is interesting at looking at newer minivans from the past minivan that we did have.
Right.
So it'll be fun. So we'll take you along.
We're at our first place, and we have a whole list to go to. Now, I had this list. Christine's looked through it all and approved the ones we're going to look at. Now this is off list, and I did it on purpose because there's one vehicle Christine said she's wanted, and every time she sees it, she thinks, oh, that's still so cute. Now, we've never looked at one. No. So before we decide on a minivan, we've got to look at a Santa Cruz.
Yes.
So they've got one here.
And it's blue.
In her color. So we drove all the way past all those other vehicles we wanted just to look at this one. So that's what we're here for.
We got to test it.
All right.
All the cute bells and whistles.
All right, Christine's now driving in her new minivan. Not really. We haven't bought it yet, but this is
a Hyundai Santa Cruz.
And like I said, this was high on Christine's list. Although when we just talked about it, I had to drag it out of her that she was interested in one of these. So I thought maybe I picked the wrong thing. But the minivan, you know, hits all the right things as far as space and use.
Yes.
But it's a minivan. So now
Sure.
Christine just has to decide space and use.
And my head is battling. I don't know what's battling.
So we're going to eat lunch. We're going to walk around this so you can see what she's looking at.
It has all the bells and whistles. I mean, all the cars we've had a key.
Yeah, it's a remote. It's got heated seats, cooled seats, heated steering wheel, sunroof, you know, all the things you want.
Yeah, I don't know yet.
We'll look around it. Like I said, we'll walk around, show you, and you can kind of see what Christine's thinking about.
Let's see what I decide.
Who knows?
Look what it does. So this is what I'm looking at. It's a 22. I do like it.
We're on our little test drive. Christine is in her new minivan, well, or what we're thinking about. And you can tell now, as the camera jumps back and forth a lot, that this is a little turbo. And, you know, Christine is a lead foot, so gas is on, off. And the brakes all the way on or all the way up. Like she's racing, is what it is. She's learned. So what are your impressions so far?
I like the car.
Like the car. All right. And this is Christine's no smile poker face. Look, she's ready. She's going to back and ready to wheel and deal a little bit and talk about him, you know, get him down on price. She's going to say, I hate the car. I can't believe he's making me buy it. Yeah, that's convincing. That's convincing right there. Not as much room as a minivan. Okay, this is Christine's new minivan. I'm gonna call it that forever because that's what we were getting.
So I didn't explain, it ended up, they gave us a deal right off the bat. They just kind of gave us numbers. There was no wheeling and dealing. So that was like a plus. It was me struggling if this was the right car versus the minivan, and it ended up to be the right car. I've already used it to put straw bales in it for the alpacas. I've already bought the dog cover in the back, and then I bought floor mats for the WeatherTech. Matt bought me a few things for Christmas, like toe straps, and kind of, I have now a license plate with the frame, license plate frame says, yes, I am a mermaid. So it ended up to be the perfect car for me, and it's actually very practical in my everyday life. So if you made it this far, comment below with a car or a truck emoji, and I would love to hear you comment and tell me what you think, because I think it's a perfect fit. And we're just gonna go with videos for 2025. I don't wanna tell you all my ideas because I think it's a cool how we're gonna keep this channel going. And Matt hasn't even begun on the van yet for this winter. Just life is busy, and I will see you in the next year. Later.